game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we got a bit of a roundup of combat sports for you lot. We're talking Tyson Fury. Is he coming back? Should he come back? Johnny Bones Jones. Is he coming back? Should he come back? I'm going to cover those two mainly. But then we've got Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Like, what the fucking hell is going on in the world of fighting right now? And then a little bit of British boxing at the end. We'll start with Tyson Fury, though, who has been pictured back in the gym with his old man Big John. And to be fair to him, he's looking pretty good, right? He's looking a bit more thick around the neck, looking stronger in the arms and the shoulders. He's a funny one, Fury, because from certain angles he looks hench, and from others he looks skinny fat, and you just don't know what you're going to get until he's actually in the ring. But he does look good there, and clearly this is a teaser for the return of Tyson Fury, and he's even said as much verbally.
Business meeting today, Dad. En route. Incoming.
It's good to see him spending a lot of time with his old man, and if there is anyone who usually has a good idea of what's coming next with Tyson Fury, it is Big John, and he has been interviewed recently on the last fight with USYK and what is to come next for Tyson Fury.
Well, first and foremost, he had his belt stolen off him, didn't he?
Just what a way to start.
When somebody's paid you a shed load of money, they seem to resent letting you stay champion as well, don't they? You know, and for my money, he probably didn't want to pay him the same amount again. Probably couldn't afford to pay Tyson that same money again.
Big John seems to think that they pay Tyson Fury so much money, they rigged the judging just to make sure that they never have to pay him the same amount, because he'll have to take less money if he's no longer the champion. That's the real reason why those judges thought Alexander Usyk won the fight. I don't know about you lot, but if there's one thing I'm getting the impression of so far, it's that I think they can afford Tyson Fury, whatever the price is. And in fact, if Tyson Fury wins, it elevates his star, it then makes everyone more money, and it actually makes more sense to have a man who's as entertaining as Tyson Fury as the champion, rather than someone who isn't that entertaining as a character, by comparison, Alexander Usyk. Nothing makes sense here. But carry on.
For me, he won both fights. He didn't look in fantastic shape in this second one. You know, and in the first one, he needed more rest time, to be honest with you.
It sounds like excuses to me. If you think you won the fight, what you don't do is then make excuses. It doesn't add up, that.
He had 3 weeks rest, and he's back in the gym for another 8 weeks. You can't do those things. So by the time he got in the ring, the first fight with USYK, he'd overtrained. There was nothing left of him.
I don't understand with how negative he sounds. Well, there was nothing left of him by the time he got in the ring. How did he win the fight then? If he still won the fight, how does that add up?
The second time, I never got involved at all because, you know, my own personal reasons, which I'm not going to go into because there's no need to, because the horse has bolted. But Tyson could be in a lot better shape. Let's put it that way.
I agree, actually. This is the thing about Big John. As much as I think he does everything he can to defend his son, and it's easy to poke holes in it, I still kind of respect that he does that. If you're going to bullshit on behalf of your own son and try and build your son up, right? Fair fucks. But sometimes in between that, Big John speaks the truth, and this is the truth here. He didn't look great when he got in the ring. He looked fat. We see Tyson at the same weight, roughly, I think, against Wilder in the second fight, and he looked muscular, a little bit of chub on him, but athletic. He didn't look the same version of him at all.
His body didn't represent work to me, and what I call work, and his team calls work, is two different things. You know, listen, like I said, the horse has bolted. For mine, when he won both fights, they stole his belts off him. You know, they took the biggest ticket seller out of the game. Because without Tyson Fury, there's no dance partners.
Why would they do that, though, logically? He is the biggest ticket seller. You're absolutely right. And if there's anything promoters want in this world, it's ticket sellers. They want them to win. They're praying they win. This doesn't make any logical sense to me.
This thing what's happening now, USYK and the other one, the bar, that's never going to be a 95,000 crowd. You need a dance partner. And let me tell you, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is the best dance partner anyone can ever have. If you want money, big money, without the Gypsy King, you're not getting it.
Well, he's fair. He's right there to a degree, but I do think that other people's stars have grown significantly. Usyk beating AJ back to back, beating Dubois, beating Fury back to back. It's now risen his star dramatically. Daniel Dubois' performance against Anthony Joshua risen his star dramatically. So what I will say is, as much as Tyson Fury is a great person to have in the mix in this heavyweight division, he's not as needed as he once was, and he's lost a lot of his power because no man born from his mother used to be the thing they could say. You can't say that anymore. You've lost twice back to back. So his stock has dropped. But let's see what Big John has to say about how they think they can actually beat Alexander Usyk.
He's got to spend time on his physique. Forget the boxing. He needs 12 months on his physique properly to get some muscle on his frame. You know, and if he's not prepared to work his rocks off for the next 6 months, just getting his body right, he's got the boxing side of it covered. You cannot teach a great champion like him nothing. He's a boxer tricks. But what's letting him down is his physical condition, his lack of muscle, his lack of body strength, and his lack of power.
My main man, True Geordie, representing the pain game, and his counterpunch of John Fury, Tyson Fury, and John Bones Jones. And let me counterpunch. Tyson Fury going into the world of John Bones Jones is a disaster ready to happen. If his father, John Fury, feels that he couldn't get up or get prepared like he should to beat Alexander Usyk, but at the same time got robbed, what do you think he's going to do in the UFC? That requires dedication. Okay? Blood, sweat, tears, ability. That I don't know if Tyson Fury's ready for. I think he can maybe do it twice out of a 7-day period, but not 7 days a week, not a full training camp. In fact, the way Tyson's built, he may get hurt, you know, because the last thing he needs is extended limbs and arms. Okay, because that's exactly what he's looking for dealing with John Bones Jones. Because John Jones is the type of guy that he's a wrestler first and everything else second. Okay, but he's good at everything overall. However, if he gets you down, it's over for you. So, to say the least, Tyson Fury, I respect him saying it. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I think it'll be another situation like him and Francis Ngannou going in there, you know, throwing those bows with boxing gloves on, okay? No cage, no rules of the UFC, none of that. Because money talks and bullshit runs a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think this will happen anyway. But back to Big John Fury. Big John Fury is like, hey, I got robbed. And you guys knew how I countered it. But understand, John Fury is basically saying, I told you guys so. I told you that my son was not going to win based on who was on his team because I'm not there. And because I'm not there, we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be worse than it did before. And needless to say, it was. So again, it's John Fury saying that, hey, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? Without trying to rub it in too deep, but really trying to let the point get across that, hey, if he was there, things would have been different. Tyson Fury would have won. But then if that's the case, John, I thought his conditioning was the reason he wasn't going to beat Usyk. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand the whole thing. But to be fair, John Fury, you know, is that guy that is trying to plant that seed like, hey, if he had no dad, he would go a lot farther. But you guys tell me what you think of True Geordie representing the pain game on his take on Big John Fury, Tyson Fury, and John Bones Jones. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!